to look at home as a creative space. Each and every living creature on earth was designed particularly by a creator. So the desire to create is a part of our nature. And as a homemaker, well, the home is my canvas. These books are a piece of art. Did you know that books can be art? Just look how beautiful the covers are on these old books I picked up from a thrift store. I've been holding on to them, and I thought they would just be perfect for bringing these springy pops of color into the home. Come spring, I love to bring little pops of color. Last fall, I painted this mantle, this warm amber yellow, and I was really wondering how it would shine during my spring decorating. And you know what? I am really loving this pop of yellow. I think it works beautifully. There is so much effort that goes into keeping a home, so many chores, so many daunting tasks, and so many mundane tasks, really, that can be quite dull. But if you flip the coin on homemaking, it really can be a place of beauty and a place where you express yourself. Like a good collection of antiques and art, homemaking can be curated. It's something that changes over time, and as you grow, as you mature, as you progress, we're ever changing, we're ever growing, and that's the way I think it should be. So it's okay to change your taste. It's okay to try something new. It's okay to play with a fun color on the mantle. So here is an almond butter cake that you can put on the table this spring, or maybe even on the table for Easter. It's super simple because everything just goes in one bowl and you put it in one pan and put a little bit of almonds on it and you bake it in 30 minutes. And my family keeps making me make this over and over again because they absolutely love it. The original name is called butterkoek. I think that's how you say it. And I'm going to put the recipe down below. I've altered it a little bit. And so I'm just going to call this an almond butter cake. Although this is not a gluten-free recipe, it does have almond flour in it. You could maybe substitute the all-purpose flour for coconut flour and make it a gluten-free recipe. So that's something that we might have to try. Speaking of trying new things, I saw these egg-shaped candles, and so I looked up a tutorial and I just decided to give it a go here on a random spur of a moment. And so I'm just gathering up some materials that I already have in my house, and I'm making some egg-shaped candles. Now this is where the process gets a little bit technical. You have to make a small hole on the top of the egg and then another small hole at the bottom of the egg. And I did that with a needle, just punching it a little hole with a needle, and I'm just slowly making that hole bigger with some pliers here. Now, one hole just has to be big enough to string your wick through, while the other side of the hole has to be big enough to pour the yolk out with. It's little projects like this that just make the creative inside me giddy. It just makes me so happy. And it's such a nice break from the mundane tasks that we do every day. So remember to take time to do something that makes you feel creative, that really just puts you at ease. You know, we all have different ideas of creativity and things that we like to create, and that's beautiful and that's wonderful. Sometimes people who know me the best look at me and go, "That is so much work, Jenny." But for me, it sparks joy. So I had picked up this bag of organic white beeswax for a different project that I wanted to do, and so I already had it on hand, but I'm going to list all of the tools and materials that you do need for this project down below in the description box so that you can be prepared when you want to do this project. I happen to have a large collection of these scented wax cubes, the kind that you put in your plug-in and it melts. And so I decided to grate these up and have this bring the color to my candles, and also they would bring the scent. So I thought this was a pretty fun hack that I came up with to add some color and to make your candles smell good. And then I also added an addition of the beeswax. So today I am using some foil cupcake liners, and I just quadrupled them up so that they would be a little bit sturdier. And normally I think you would actually use a spouted tin container to melt your beeswax in, similar to what I'm doing now in kind of a boiling pot. These containers seem to work just fine, but in the future I think I'm going to go with a bit of a larger container to melt my wax in, because I'm going to have to do this process several times to make enough to fill my eggshells. You're at least going to have to go through this melting and pouring process a couple times because the wax actually shrinks as it dries. Once you are finished pouring the wax, just make sure that your wick is centered in place. I'm just using bobby pins today. And then you're going to want to let them dry and solidify for at least 4 hours or so. But I'm just going to leave mine here to rest overnight. This was the exciting part. This felt like the big reveal to see how it turned out. And although these egg candles were not perfection, they're quite rustic looking, I think that they are rustically and imperfectly beautiful. So this is a great reference guide that I have here on my coffee table, Attainable, Sustainable. And this is where I got this candle making process from. This book covers fermenting, a little bit of sourdough, candle making, of course, sewing. There's even some homemade cleaning products and soaps in here, and it's just little guides and tutorials. So I love having it in my library. And I think you might like it too. So like I said, I'll put it down below. So amongst the mundane and the trenches of homemaking and everyday life, I hope that you'll take a little bit of moment to do something that just sparks a little bit of joy in your life, adds a little bit of beauty, in whatever way that happens for you. Make sure to catch me next week. We're going to be back over in the entryway, doing some more work over there. Make sure to snag the recipe for the almond butter cake down below. You're going to be so glad you did. And like I said, I'll put some of these materials and instructions for the candles. I'll catch you next week. Love you lots.